So from wherever you are, let's find a place either in bed or on the ground. We'll set aside this firm pillow or blanket that I have kind of rolled up into a firm pillow for later on in our practice. And we'll meet ourselves here on our backs, keeping a nice bend in the knees to honor that low back. And then we'll start our practice by grounding ourselves in the present moment, by allowing ourselves to arrive exactly where we are, setting aside everything that's happened in the past and everything that will happen after we end our practice, and choosing to be here in this moment, bearing witness to what you feel as you move and breathe your body. So as you lie here, allow your body to settle down into the mat or mattress, wherever you are. Release any effort from the shoulders and the shoulder blades. Let them melt down into the mat. Relaxing through the belly, the low back, and the hips. Softening through the legs, but keeping the knees pointed upward. Relaxing through the toes. Feeling the gentle weight of your legs through the pads of your feet. You have arrived here. Notice your natural breath as it sits in your body without trying to change it. Notice where you feel your natural inhales and exhales. Is it in the chest or the belly? Maybe both. As you inhale, what expands and stretches, rising? As you exhale, what softens and sinks down towards the earth? You're not here to change anything, but simply witness what is. On your next inhale, send your breath down into your belly. Fill the belly. Feel it stretch and expand. Let the lungs fill along with the heart. And then exhale, let the breath release from your body. Let the torso melt down into the supports beneath you. Once more, inhale, filling first the belly. Then the heart and lungs rise and expand with that breath in. This time as you exhale, see if you can let it go nice and slow. Let the exhale linger before once more inhaling into the belly. Filling the torso all the way up, filling your lungs to the brim, and then exhale. Release the breath nice and slow. Find a few more of these deep inhales and slow, soft exhales. Moving at a pace that feels calming to you. As you breathe here, feeling these big body breaths, you might repeat to yourself a simple mantra to help occupy the mind and further settle you into this present experience. On your inhale, you might think to yourself, I am. And on your exhale, think here. This simple mantra, inhaling, I am. Exhaling, here. I am. Here. I am. here, continuing at your own pace, repeating this simple grounding mantra. And then when you're ready, we'll find a little movement in the body, letting the arms rest where they feel good, maybe atop the belly, maybe down by your sides. We'll allow your awareness to travel into the pads of the feet. We're going to do some laying cat-cow. So pressing down into the pads of the feet, feel your tailbone begin to curl up towards your belly button. You're going to lift that tailbone up towards your belly button as you press down into the pads of your feet, only as far as your belly button can go without engaging in the glutes. So we're leaving the cheeks here nice and soft. We're not lifting the tailbone up off the earth. We're just feeling this pelvic bowl tilt, tucking the tailbone in towards the belly button, gently pressing down through the pads of the feet as we do. Notice that there's length being created in the low back, the low vertebra here. And now that we've felt our way into the lower half of what's becoming cats, let's find our upper body here. So continuing that gentle pressure in the pads of the feet, allowing it to curl the tailbone up. We're now going to bring our awareness into the neck. We're going to press down through the back of our neck, just gently down into the mat. And as you press down, feel the length of the back of the neck grow long. You might notice your chin naturally tucking in towards the heart center. Let it. Feel the length along the whole of the spine. So the low back is lengthening, just as the back of the neck is lengthening up here. Beautiful. Release all effort. Let the body relax completely. Breathe into the belly. Feel sensation in the body. Maybe an aching or a warmth has built in the pelvis or the thighs. Maybe there's a tingling in the body or a sense of floating. We just note, take a moment to observe, and then find our cow. So once more, focusing on the movement of the pelvis first, we're going to start to find an arch in the low back, sending the belly up towards the sky. We start to press down to the tailbone. So with cat, we were pulling the tailbone up, curling it up towards the belly button. With cow, we're pressing that tailbone down into the mat, really feeling this low back arch here, sending your next inhale deep into the belly, noticing how good it feels to breathe into the low belly with this low back arched, just like this. Holding this gentle low back arch, knowing you can release if at any point this sensation builds to an ache that is distracting or painful. Otherwise, moving the sensation or awareness now up into the neck. So we are going to lengthen through the front of the neck, really pressing our chin towards the wall behind us, noticing how the back of the head tucks down towards the shoulders. Breathing deep into the belly here. One more deep breath. And now as you exhale, release from this posture, let go of all effort. Let's see if we can find this movement now that we've explored the fullness of cow and cat. Can we move with the breath? So on an exhale, press down to the pads of the feet, curl the tailbone up towards the ceiling. We're pressing down through the back of the neck, moving into cat here. On our inhale, we're reversing this, finding this low back arch, breathing deep into the belly, pressing the chin towards the wall behind us. Exhale, finding that C shape in the spine, pressing down through the pads of the feet into cat. Inhale, arching the low back, pressing down through the tailbone, chin presses towards the wall behind us. Let's do this a few more times, moving at the pace of your own inhale and exhale, seeing if you can let it be slow and juicy, really noticing the sensations you feel in the neck and the low back. On an exhale, release the whole of the torso down into stillness. We're going to find this a little more deeply in the spine, this flexion and extension, before we move into some lateral spinal movements. So this is deeply releasing for the hips, by the way, deeply healing for the low back. If you struggle with low back pain, for wanting to build core strength and hip stability, all of these things are wonderful. We're going to take our hands and we're going to interlace our fingers and place our palms behind our head here. And if we're protecting our shoulders, because it's going to be really hard on the shoulders, the rotator cuffs here, if you're protecting your shoulders, you might just take your palms and place them on either side of your head, sending your elbows out towards the side. So you choose whether the palms are on the side of the head here or interlaced, resting on the back of the head. And then we're going to do what seems like a crunch, moving into cat. So on an exhale, pressing to the pads of the feet, lengthening through the low back, tucking the tailbone up towards the belly button. We're going to start to lengthen through the back of the neck here. And now the elbows tuck towards one another. And we do a gentle crunch. So we're engaging just through the front of the belly here gently, lengthening deeply through the back of the neck. And just hold this for a moment, pressing down into the pads of the feet, and see if you can hold this while you breathe. Right? We have this habit of holding our breath or shallowing our breath. We can counteract that here pretty deeply. On an exhale of your choice, release down. Beautiful. We're going to take this at a diagonal. So pressing into the pad of the feet one more time, curling the tailbone up towards the belly button. This time, as the elbows come together, instead of crunching directly up or lengthening the neck directly up towards the ceiling, we're going to lengthen the neck slightly towards the left. So it's almost like we want our nose to come towards that left knee, just a little bit. Pressing into the pads of the feet, holding this at an angle, breathing into the belly, and then on an exhale, release down. Beautiful. Let go of all effort. Let the arms release all effort, the pelvis, the belly, the glutes. Take a moment to let go, knowing that we are training our body to release and relax here through conscious relaxation. Beautiful. We're going to find this diagonal stretch on the opposite side, pressing once more to the pads of the feet, curling that tailbone up towards the ceiling. And when you're ready, drawing the elbows together, taking that gentle crunch, lengthening to the back of the neck, this time towards that right knee, right? Our nose wants to gently pull towards that right knee. Imagine that length in the back of the neck, breathing into the belly. On your exhale, relax down. Beautiful. That is good, hard work. From here, we're going to roll over onto our left side body. Woo, finding ourselves in a fetal position. And this is where that firm pillow or that blanket is going to come into play. I'm going to scoot back. So in a fetal posture, normally we're resting our head on our upper arm here with the knees bent. If you want to spend your practice like this, beautiful, do it. However, this can be hard for our circulation. It can be actually uncomfortable because it's not quite in alignment, our neck with our spine. So grabbing that firm pillow or this blanket, fold it up, place it underneath the head. And we're really looking for a height that feels supportive. So when you rest your head down, it's in as much alignment with your spine as you can find ease, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. This bottom arm, this left arm is lengthened out in front of you. Our top arm is going to be lengthened down by our side. So from here, we're going to find what is close to or as close to a 90-ish degree angle or a right angle, our legs to our torso. So I'm going to bring my knees up a little bit. And then I'm going to allow my thighs and my calves to find this 90-degree angle at the knees-ish, right? So feeling it out, we just want to feel supported here on our side body. And then keeping the arm down by our side, we're going to start gentle lateral hip movements. So this works the piriformis. A lateral hip movement is taking this top leg, this top knee. We're going to gently shift it forward, feeling this right top hip shift forward as the knee shifts forward. And then we're going to shift it back. So sucking that knee back into that hip socket, pulling the hip back towards the wall behind you, holding it for a moment before pressing once more into that top knee. So this bottom knee, this bottom leg is the anchor. It's not doing anything but holding still and strong where it is. It's this top leg, this top hip that's pressing forward and backwards. So pressing forward here, and then let's pull it backwards, holding it backwards. Noticing where sensation builds, maybe in that outer hip, maybe the outer top of the thigh. Can you breathe into the belly while you do this? Trying not to hold the breath. Beautiful. Relax your leg, one on top of the other. From here, we'll find length in the side body. So sweeping your arm up overhead, extending through the fingertips. I'm going to bend through my elbow and extend through my elbow here because there's a wall. And relax your arm over top your head here. So feeling length in the upper portion of the body, the right side body growing long. You're going to take this right top leg here and extend it out behind you, pressing through the heel. So I'm pressing out through my fingertips as I press out through my heel, feeling long on the side body, holding for just a moment. And then relaxing both as I press out through them, relaxing them both down towards the mat or mattress as far as feels good. And maybe it feels good to rest them all the way down. Maybe we're hovering just a little bit, pressing out through the fingertips and the heels here. So honor the body, honor your experience. There's no wrong way here. We just want to feel this length in the side body. Beautiful. Bring the arm back down by the side. Bring the knee in. We're going to roll over onto our back for a moment, removing the pillow. Whew. And then notice how the hips feel. Notice how your side body feels. Maybe this hip is a little sore from laying down on the floor. We just observe and notice. And then from here, keeping those knees bent, we're going to heel toe the feet out about mat width apart, 3 or so feet. We're going to start with some really small windshield wipers. So windshield wipers are rocking our knees back and forth, but let it be a baby slow rock, right? Just a little gentle rock, focusing on keeping the hips loose, keeping the pelvis loose. Start to let that rock grow, right? A little bigger to the left and the right. Finding a nice swing. Letting the hips really release and relax into it. Those windshield wipers grow and grow. You might let the windshield wipers grow so big that you're rolling up onto the sides, the blade edges of your feet as the knees swing left and right. Beautiful. We'll let the knees rest, pointed skyward, planting through the pads of the feet, heel toeing the legs together here, finding some twists before we roll onto the opposite side of the body. So from here, we have 2 options. You can either keep the feet planted and the knees together, or we can draw our knees up towards the chest, keeping them together. So you choose what feels good in your body this evening. From wherever you are, you're going to let your knees both fall over to the left. Ooh. Relaxing your shoulder blades down onto the mat, letting your arms hang heavy. Now you might tee your arms out by your sides. That can be hard on the rotator cuffs. So if we want to protect our shoulder sockets, you might bend at the elbows and plant the palms on the rib cage or the belly. Our lower spine rotating towards the left. Let's invite our cervical spine, our upper spine, the neck into this rotation as well. So if you would like, lifting your head up off the mat, turning your gaze over to the right, resting your head down on the mat for just a moment. Breathing deep into the belly here. See if you can relax through the length of your throat. Releasing the shoulders down towards the mat. Taking one more big belly breath here. And as you exhale, let the knees float up towards the ceiling. Let your gaze rotate up towards the ceiling. We'll find this twist on the opposite side of the body. And I should have mentioned this earlier. You might grab that firm pillow or that blanket and place it under the knees so that when we twist, it shortens that range of motion just a little bit, making it easier to sort of relax into the twist and find ease. So from wherever you are, bringing the knees together, either the pads of the feet planted or the knees pulled up into the chest, you decide. And then letting those knees fall over towards the right, either landing on that pillow or blanket, floating in space, or maybe resting down on the mattress or mat. And as the knees hang heavy towards the right, the shoulder blades and the shoulders relax down towards the earth. Inviting the neck into this movement, we lift the head, turn our gaze towards the left, and let the head rest back down, supported and cradled. Relaxing through the face, the jaw, letting the tongue float in your mouth as you bring ease to the throat, the heart center, the belly. On your next inhale, send it deep into the belly. As you exhale, roll those knees up towards the ceiling, gently rotating your gaze upwards as well. We're going to roll over onto our right side body. And so that I can continue facing you, I'm going to switch directions. Ooh, look at my hair. Finding yourself once more in this fetal posture, head supported by that firm pillow or rolled blanket, that lower arm extended out in front of you, this upper arm resting the length of the torso, finding this bend in the knees here, this 90-90. And then when you are ready, pressing that top knee forward, the top hip shifts forward, pulling the knee back, letting the hip shift back. Letting this movement be nice and slow, knowing that it feels awkward at first. But the more time that you spend just exploring this movement, the more you have these little aha moments. So this is really working the piriformis muscle. It sits beneath our glutes, connecting our sacral spine, so our low spine to the top of our femur. It's responsible for a lot of low back pain, a lot of hip pain, a lot of tightness. All right, let it settle, that top leg on top of the bottom leg in stillness here, relaxing any effort through that upper hip. You might give it a sweet little massage here if you'd like. Beautiful. And then when you're ready on an inhale, that top arm extends up and overhead, pressing through those fingertips. I'm going to rotate my palm down towards the ground as I press out through the fingertips. Holding the arm here, you might begin to extend through that top leg, pressing through the heel. So I'm pressing out through my fingertips, out through my heel, this equal and opposite direction, feeling this length on my left side body. Breathing deep into the belly as you do, not letting the breath shallow, counteracting our desire to hold it. And then if you would like, start to relax the arm and the leg slowly down towards the supports beneath you, as far down as feels good. And maybe that's resting all the way. Maybe it's a slight hover, keeping that tension through the fingertips, through the heel of the foot. You decide, finding that length. And then bending the knees, sweeping the arm down in front, bring it down by our sides, rest the hand here. We'll end our practice tonight rolling once more onto our backs. We'll take this blanket or this firm pillow. You might place it up underneath your head. Once more, this bend in the knees, planting the pads of the feet. Feeling the length of your spine, resting on the mat or mattress beneath you. Noticing again the pads of the feet and the sensation of their weight. Gently press down. Notice if you can bring ease to the heart center, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, relaxing any effort that might have snuck up there. And then we'll end our practice with a gentle side stretch. So sweeping the arms up overhead, I'm going to take my right wrist in my left hand. And if we're protecting our wrists, you might take your forearm. I'm going to gently pull my right arm up overhead, and I'm going to start shortening along the right side body, sort of doing a side crunch. So I'm letting my head slide, my shoulder blades slide over to the left as I lengthen through my right side body. So my hips are remaining stationary. The pads of my feet are staying where they are. I'm just sort of rolling into the shape that Jessamine Stanley, who is an incredible yoga teacher, calls the banana. Noticing once you get here where tension has snuck up, noticing if you can send your breath into the right side of this rib cage, helping to bring ease, helping to create length along the right side body. And then if you would like, you might extend that right leg long, gently pressing through the heel. Noticing as you hang out here where you feel this stretch. Maybe in the front right side of the belly or thigh. Maybe you feel it all the way up into the armpit or arm. And then from wherever you are, bring your awareness into the pad of your left foot, that left knee bent up towards the ceiling. If you'd like, you can start pressing down into the pad of that left foot. That left hip starts to lift up towards the ceiling, only an inch or two. This is a very small movement, but it helps to intensify this stretch on the right side of the body. When you're ready, release all effort. Let the head and the shoulders slide back up into alignment with the lower half of our spine here, bending that right knee, planting the pad of the right foot. We'll switch arms. So our right hand bracing our left wrist or forearm, arms up overhead. We're going to start to gently pull on that left arm as we shorten through the right side body here. So finding this side crunch, shortening through the right side body, walking the head and the shoulders over to the right as we feel this length taking place on the left side of our body. Finding this banana shape. And then once we have moved as far as feels good in our personal form this evening, see if you can release any effort along the length of the spine, the belly, the shoulders. And once we've released and let go here, you might extend that left leg long, pressing through the heel. Ooh, breathing into the belly, noticing where this brings sensation in the body. You might send your breath into the left side of that rib cage. Each inhale, creating length. Each exhale, bringing ease and relaxation along the length of the spine. And then if you would like, bringing that awareness now into the pad of that right foot, we start to gently press into it as that right hip lifts up towards the ceiling. This gentle hip twist, further lengthening the left side of the body. And then when you're ready, releasing all effort, sliding the head and the shoulders back up, lengthening that right leg long this time, coming into final Shavasana for the next couple minutes. So ending our practice in stillness, and maybe you want to take it just like this, arms and legs splayed wide. Maybe you want to place a blanket atop you. Maybe you want to put something beneath your knees, bringing ease to the low back. However you spend the next minute or two, let it be effortless. Let the body find stillness and ease, relaxing through the palms of your hands, your forearms, your shoulders, your heart center and chest, the shoulder blades relaxing and resting down into the mat or mattress. On your next inhale, feel the belly rise. As you exhale, release all effort from the belly, the hips, the low back. Letting go of any energy you're holding in your glutes and your thighs. Bringing ease, a sense of melting and release to the calves, to your ankles, all the way down through the toes. We take a moment here in physical effortlessness and physical stillness to find effortlessness and stillness in our mind. So as you lie here, if the mind begins to wander, if the body starts to feel restless, invite your awareness back into the breath in your body, feeling each inhale and exhale. If you like, you might even find that mantra from earlier in your practice. With each inhale, thinking, I am. With each exhale, here. I am here. Remain here for as long as you like. You might even let this be where your practice ends, signing off and slipping into sweet slumber. But if you would like to awaken the body from this practice, then you might hang out for a moment Begin to deepen the breath in your body. Feel the belly and the heart rise as you inhale. Feel them relax and release, melting down as you exhale. Invite this deepened movement, this slow, gentle awakening into the fingers and the toes. What does it feel like to slowly move the fingers and the toes here? What about the wrists and the ankles? Inviting that movement now up into the arms and the legs. You might play with something they call pendiculation in somatics, which is that stretching and flexing that we do when we wake up in the morning or when we wake up from a good nap. I often think of a cat waking from a nap in the sun, just rolling around, stretching, feeling. And then if you'd like, finding that bend in the knees, planting the pads of the feet, rolling onto the left or right side body for a moment, letting the physical body rest here, feeling the stillness, the calm, the ease here on your side body. Taking this moment to bask in the beauty of your practice, in the powerful gift that is choosing to explore the body with your mind, with intentional awareness. As you move, as you breathe, you experience. You find ease. You regulate your nervous system. And you invite yourself into a place of presence and embodiment. Let it soak into your body here so you can take it with you everywhere you go.